Hi folks, and welcome to that video. I don't like to call it a tutorial actually, because I want to involve you and want to know what you think and tell me what you think, how to improve the results. So lately I was asked to create some boiling water so I just started some research and development inside of Cinema 4D, and I used the new volumes. And this is my result, what you see here in the window. And yes, I just want to break down my setup and show you what I did, and hopefully you will drop me a comment and tell me what you think, and maybe you have any idea how to improve the result actually. So I mean, like, this is looking kind of convincing in the first glimpse, but it's far from being physical correct, and maybe this is not the task, but anyway, maybe there's a chance to make it any better. So let's have a look. So inside of Cinema I used, as I told you, I used the new volume measure and volume builder, and let me just close the interactive region. So to break it down, I just started with the emitter, with just simple emitter, and I put some spheres inside in different sizes, like with the radius of 1, radius of 1.5 and 6 and so on. And I just adjusted the behavior, I shortened the lifetime, played around with the speed, stuff like that, till I find something that was working for me. And then I set up a cube and also a cylinder, and then I put everything into that volume builder. I placed the cube down below, subtracted my my spheres, my emitter spheres, and also set an intersection with the cylinder to shape out kind of a glass form. Then the problem was, when you have just a cube in the emitter, the bubbles will rise up, but they're not going to ripple the surface of the water the way boiling water would do, you know. So I started to add a collision deformer to my cube, placed my emitter inside, and used the inside solver. So with that setup, the bubbles will pull the surface of the water. And then I added also a jiggle deformer and set the strength pretty high to about 225, and also reduced the stiffness and played around with the iterations down below here. So then I had the result that is looking like this. And that also was just quite okay, and but I'm missing some details here. But I was missing some details, so and that's why I placed. Oh, by the way, I set my volume to the voxel size of 2. So 1 was too detailed, and any higher value was too rough. So 2 was about to be okay. So and then inside my volume measure, I just brought down the voxel range threshold here to 45. But I placed everything into a null because I wanted to apply some rippling to the surface, because boiling water is, you know, it's rippled. And then I used a displacer for that and placed just a simple noise into the shader. Just placed a simple noise shader and start to move it upwards. Just use the movement down below with a very low speed. Just moved it upwards like heat is rising up, so and the ripple effect will rise up too. Actually, it's working pretty fine, and I also used some keyframes for that, so that the effect is increasing over time. And then I just had this extra portion of small particles, so to say. Just the same setup of the emitter, just a bit slower and shorten lifetime of the particles. And these particles are excluded from my volume because I don't want to have too much information on volume going on. It's just, you know, that you can see the particles inside of the volume doing something, so that in the refraction of the water that there's more detail in it. And then just overall I just created a very simple glass out of a cylinder, and basically that's my setup. I also played around with some rotation and turbulence that was added to my particles. And I mean, like in the preview window here, everything is kind of slow, so you have to render it to see the result that I showed you before. And if you want to render it in the standard renderer, then a good way to go is go to your options and just increase the percentage of the ray threshold to something like 5, or maybe even higher. You can play around with it. So the default setting is 1.1, I think, and that's will cause very long render times. So and this is just the value you can play around to bring it down, and just for preview purposes you don't have to use high quality anti-aliasing, stuff like that. So that's my setup here, and I hope it was useful for you to, you know, kind of learn something about the volumes in R20, by the way. And if you're familiar with it, you have any idea how to improve this setup here, so I would be thankful if you share your ideas and share with the community. So thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.